coach opening statement.
Yeah, just super proud of the way the guys battled the entire game. We had some opportunities early, and we allowed the UNH to have a short field, and but we bounced back. We never panicked, and our guys did a good job on both sides of the ball, and special teams late in the game, needing those kickoffs and kick returns. But I think we did a good job of just staying in the game. We talked about it, just make it a 4-quarter game. Let's get to the fourth quarter, let our conditioning come through, and see where we are. I thought our guys just kept, especially, we were moving the ball, and we just, couldn't finish those drives. And then defensively, we were on a short field there early in the first half. But once we were able to flip the field and start controlling the field, and we talk about field position, and then all of a sudden now the tide started turning around a little bit, and you could just tell that just the energy and momentum started picking up. And our guys, workmanlike like always, they went out there and just stayed easy and just kept coming and finished strong.
Kind of take us through a little bit about how you were feeling on the go-ahead drive in the fourth and just what kind of got you into a rhythm there.
Yeah, I think all game, Coach Montgomery and the offense, everybody on the offense put us in a great position to make plays and get the ball down the field. It was just a matter of putting it all together at the end of the game. We knew we work on it every week. That 2-minute, 7 minutes left, fourth quarter, we got to go down and win for our team. And everybody stepped up. Grayson O'Barrow on the catch, DJ on the blocks and the runs. It was awesome. But it's good just because we practice it every week just to see it all come out and play the way that we want it to happen in the right time of the game. That's good.
DJ averaged over 7 yards a carry, over 140 yards. Just what was working so well for you today to where you can put up that sort of stat line?
Yeah, I think first and foremost starts with the O-line. I wouldn't be able to do it without their blocks. Receivers blocking downfield and just trusting the coaches. Like, we rep it every day in practice, mentality, want to know each and every day. And I just think it starts in practice with just running hard, trusting the O-line, receivers blocking,
You lost a lot of starters on the defensive end last year, but you were still able to come out and beat a good team. So what did you see from the guys defensively today, especially in the secondary?
Yeah, I think we were just extremely locked in, extremely focused from the jump. We knew this was going to be a 4-quarter game, and we just wanted to make sure that at the start of the game all the way to the finish, we were locked in, ready to go, ready to get to it. And it was big to have, guys on all levels making plays. D-line, you have Teddy Gianneris, he's just going crazy. You got the linebackers making plays, nickel, Tyson Grimm. So that makes it a lot easier for the secondary to really, cover.
This one's sort of for DJ and Grayson. Just DJ, what kind of started to open up a little bit in the run game as it went on? And Grayson, what did that do for you guys offensively when DJ gets going and you can start to, confuse them a little bit?
Yeah, so I think first and foremost is just at the beginning of the game, just trust it. Like, the little runs is going to make the big runs happen. So you just got to stay consistent with your read, put the bar where it's supposed to put it at, and just keep trusting the O-line no matter what's going on.
And Coach Mack told us, first couple drives, it didn't go the way that we wanted it to, but he was like, keep going at him. Things are gonna go your way. They're gonna start getting tired, and that's when we take advantage. That's where we step up. It might not be first or second quarter we would like for it to be, but that third, fourth quarter when we're wearing them down and DJ, get those big runs, it opens it up for the rest of us. Those big passes don't happen without the O-line and tight ends and receivers blocking for those runs. And DJ did a great job for us.
You ended up connecting on some big third downs with Grayson O'Barrow, the other Grayson. Can you talk about the connection you have with him?
Yeah, Grayson, I was coming in as a senior in high school. He was actually my host for my official visit. So me and Gray, we have a great relationship. But, with Grayson and Daniel being great leaders on the receiver room, just knowing that they're going to, take hold and make sure that, not only running the great routes and doing your job, but blocking, that sets everything up for it. But me and Grayson and all the receivers, we know we're due. The receivers are due for some big games coming up. So we just got to stay at it and be 1-0 every day.
Whichever player wants this one, but did you guys send a message today beating a top 20 type team?
I wouldn't go as far as to say sending a message. I would say just doing what we came out there and expected to do. We obviously you plan to win, you prepare to win, and that's what we did. So we got the win. So it's just more so just moving forward and ready to go 1-0 next week.
The last thing you want to talk about is the interception, but what happened on that play, and talk about bouncing back from that.
Yeah, sure. First drive of the game, we were rolling down. It was a boot out. Made the wrong read. Ball slipped out of my hand. You know what happens, but it's about, like you said, bouncing back. We're gonna make mistakes. Coach Mack said it before the game. We're gonna make mistakes, but it's not about dwelling on those mistakes. It's about bouncing back and how can you, capitalize the next drive and the next drive. And it worked out for us at the end.
This is sort of for any of you guys that want to answer, but I guess the UNH game, what does that mean for you guys? Rivalry rise, is that something you guys kind of take a lot of stock in, or how does it kind of feel in the locker room coming into that game that week? Is it something you guys kind of see as a big game, or?
Yeah, I think it's an in-state rivalry. We feel we feel like it's an important game. They're right down the road from us. However, like Sean said, it's the next game. It's the most important game because it's the next game up for us. Just like right now, that was a great game. We're gonna sleep on it, have a great time, and celebrate it. But we got to get ready for CCSU. So UNH is a great program. We respect the hell out of them. They're awesome. But it's we got that 1-0 today, and it's ready to move on.
DJ, what was it like being on the sidelines, watching them driving on that last possession and wondering what was going to happen?
I mean, first and foremost, watching it, it was just like, it was suspenseful, but having confidence and trusting your brothers, like, yeah, they make plays, but we make plays too. So I just think it's like, when they make a play, we know we're going to make a play back. And then that last play by PC, that was just an amazing play, and that feeling was great. So, yeah.
Hey, Coach. So on kind of the final drive and I guess the end of the game, you and Coach Dope started to dial up a lot of pressure. And I guess what did you see from the D-line that gave you a lot of confidence to do that, especially in a big spot?
Well, I mean, the quarterback for UNH is a heck of a player. I mean, he's the real deal. He can hurt you with his feet. He can hurt you with his arm. And we just didn't want him to sit back there and kind of just, have time and pick where he wanted to throw that ball. So we felt like, hey, let's put some pressure on him, make him make a perfect play. And you could just tell our D-line, the guard guys have done a phenomenal job in the preseason and in the offseason. They're in great shape. And, we were rotating guys in, and you could just sense the energy. And they were pinning their ears back. And they were pretty much saying, hey, we want to win this game. And we went with that with confidence. And they did a heck of a job putting pressure on that quarterback.
Sammy, on your in your opening statement, you had mentioned, not panicking. On that final drive of the game, they had, converted a couple fourth downs, one on the crazy tip, defensive pass interference. What did you think of your defense's poise down the stretch, especially when, things like that are happening and they ended up being able to close out the deal?
Well, I think we tell guys all the time in a 2-minute situation, the pressure's, in that situation, pressure's on the offense, not on us. And I think our guys have that mentality. And, when you have experience in our secondary like we have, and they've been in those battles before. They've been in those situations many times. It's comforting. And but I think those guys know that, hey, it's time to bow up and let's make a play. I mean, you think about it. We talked about we want to make them work for everything. And in that last drive, they had to work for every inch, use every down to get where they got. And like I said, we knew we just make the plays. It's gonna turn out well for us.
Coach, I guess, is there anything that you felt like you guys were able to do to get DJ going, or was that sort of just it was kind of wearing them down over time?
Well, I just knew, just watching him in the off season and the spring and the preseason, I just knew not many people knew about him. And he was behind a good running back last year, and I was super excited for DJ for his first game. I knew, I had a really good feeling he was going to have a game like this. And but I tell you, he does a very good job. He's got great vision. He does a very good job trusting his offensive line. I thought our offensive line and our tight ends did a good job of coming off the ball. And we said it, we got to win in the trenches. We need to establish the run on offense, and then defense, we can't allow them to run. And I felt like we were able to do that as the game went on.
On that final touchdown drive, you kind of ran the same play twice in a row, one to score, one for the 2-point conversion. What gave you the confidence to run that twice in a row?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. No, but they switched personnel. They saw us send those guys out, and they had the right personnel the first time when we scored, but then they switched out their personnel the next play. And so we just said, hey, let's just run it again. They don't have the personnel didn't match, for them. So we felt like it was a good chance we were going to run it again and have the same outcome.
Winning and then having something to correct is sometimes a good thing. One of the problems today was the placements, which obviously they do a great job of it. But talk about that and other things that you're going to try to fix between this week and next.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of those little things we got to fix, And on that first field goal, Owen just bad kick. He didn't do it very. He knew it coming off the field. The second one, actually, our left guard overstepped. He stepped into Andy, and it kind of jilted him. And that's when he jilted him. That's when the ball kind of fluttered. So just little things like that. And we talk about that's one of our core values is attention to detail, and that's part of it. We got a lot of stuff to clean up. Don't get me wrong. We shouldn't have put ourselves in that situation early on in the game, but they're all correctable things. I was impressed with our penalties. We had a couple. We had the holding call, and the pass interference. But I thought we did a really good job playing a disciplined football. We played, we were in control but aggressive at the same time.
Kind of just give just an immediate evaluation on Grayson, and especially on that final drive, and kind of how he did for you guys today.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. In the first couple drives, he did a great job getting us down there. Just some of those decisions, just got to be smart about it. And he's a competitor. He wants to go out there and make plays, and he's got the ability to do that. He just obviously in those situations, slipped out of his hand. It is, but his composure's so good. He comes to the sideline. He forgets about it. He moves on. He learns from it, and it does a good job for the rest of our offense because they feed off him.
On this Dartmouth team, including coaches. What did you do over this offseason to make sure that everyone hit the ground running?
Well, Coach, why do we find the right guys? We find the guys that will fit right in our culture, what we do here and how we do it here. And very impressed with ever since every one of those individuals got here on campus have done a great job. And then our players, we had a lot of guys, they weren't the starters, but they always prepare to be ready. And they've always done that. Every player on our football team, they prepare that way because you just never know. And we say it all the time. We're not looking for just 11. We're looking for 22 plus. And I thought our guys did a good job, and our guys do a good job of always being ready when their number's called.
One more time. Dartmouth, New Hampshire. Talk a little bit about the series, what this says about how far Dartmouth has come and what the future of this series might be.
It's a great. It's the last few games have been a really good games, and Ricky Santos does a great job there. He's done a great job with that program, and they're a very solid football team, and we knew that going into the game. But I think it's exciting. It's good. I think it's good to be able to go out there and match up. And years ago that wasn't the case, but I think the fact that we're able to go out there and go toe to toe for 4 quarters or plus, I just think it makes it a much more exciting game. I don't want to come down to that all the time, but we'll take a W, that's for sure.